Welcome to the show, Joel Jaffe. You are a respected composer, musician, engineer, and producer, and the founder and co-owner of Studio D Recording in California. You have recorded music and worked with top artists including Sheryl Crow, the Fabulous Thunderbirds, Van Morrison, Huey Lewis and the News, and Indigo Girls. Your credits include being audio producer and surround sound mixer for Ringo Starr, Carlos Santana, and Wayne Shorter. There's a ton of stuff to talk about with you, Joel. Thank you so much for joining us on the show here. And please do tell us more.
My pleasure.
It's quite some mix of people you've been associated with, Joel. Tell us more about some of the experiences you've had there.
I 40 years ago, it's been 40 years, I decided I lost my deal with my band with RCA and Jag Records and decided I was going to build my own studio. I've been working at the record plant, the Automat. These are rooms in the Bay Area that I really enjoyed working at, and decided to build my own room. And I had no idea what this cooperative studio that we were going to build was going to turn into. It took us a year to build Studio D Recording. And as I said, it's been 40 years this year, and the place is still going very strong and has a lot of wonderful people coming in and using the facility.
Yeah.
The reason I built it is because I wanted a live room. I was so tired of working in studios that were so dead and kind of dumbed down as far as the audio quality, because they thought that if you only recorded the initial sound source, then you could sweeten it after the fact. Well, I wanted to do a room that was live and capture the magic of performing live. So that's kind of how Studio D had its birth. And in the last 40 years, it was so funny. Someone said, you should go to discog.com discog.com. And I was like blown away with, it's kind of like All Music. Are you familiar with either of those?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they keep track of kind of the stuff that you do.
Yeah.
And I was kind of amazed that over 40 years, some of the people I'd forgotten I'd even worked with. And, it's been a long and winding road, and it's been a wonderful journey. And I think it keeps me young.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Skyler, you've worked with a lot of people as well, so you get it.
Yeah, and I worked at your studio. I love it.
Oh, yeah. We did a lot of stuff before you left for Europe. And had the pleasure of having your voice on a bunch of tracks, which was really cool,
Really, really cool. So what you working on now?
Well, I just finished a project called Machaira, and they're a 12-piece gospel rock band, and they're from all over different areas. And Mark Cooper is the musical director. Mark is a GIT grad who used to work, had his own band. He's from Canada, had a band called DeVille, and had a lot of success with Coupe de Ville. In his illustrious years, he toured with Joe Walsh and played guitar with Joe Walsh for a while on tour. And the band that he's the musical director for is this amazing 12-piece gospel rock band with 3 great gospel singers and Leon Patella from Carlos's band originally. He sings with as well as Mark and some other people. And in 3 days, the single comes out. And it's called Life is a Rock and Roll Circus. And I had the pleasure of co-producing and engineering it. I actually played on it a little bit and did an Atmos mix, which will be coming out with the single as well. And that was kind of one of my more recent projects. Well, I'm working on a lot of stuff, but another really cool project was a composer by the name of Dan Krim, and he did this ECM jazz project. It's all instrumental. And it's got Rob Sudduth on soprano sax. And we just finished the album. We're getting ready to do a mastering on it. That was a lot of fun. And in the last 6 months, I've done a couple things with Bonnie Raitt, where she guest starred on some other people's music, and I recorded her vocal and performance stuff. And, worked with these artists. Sheryl Crow was one of them. That was a little while ago, and it was with Mavis Staples, Bonnie, and Sheryl, and it was on her album that came out recently. So, I'm doing all kinds of stuff, and I just put out my first single from my album, which I sent you.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we got over 50,000 hits on YouTube,
Wow.
which will certainly not translate into money, but it's the whole idea. The whole
Yeah.
idea was there was a message there that I wanted to communicate to the world.
Yeah.
And the song's called Love
Yeah.
One Another. And I think you've seen the video. It's an AI video that, we filmed me in the studio singing the song and then converted it into the AI world. So it's pretty unique, That's what I've been up to. And
Now,
trying to stay healthy and out of trouble.
what do you feel about social conscious music?
Oh man, it's to me right now in this world, the way it is, it's everything to me. It's about sharing knowledge. It's about sharing love. And, it's all about love. If we could just spread that around the world, it would be very cool. I just think
Who was one of your favorite social conscious music artists?
Oh my God, that's a tough one. What I always go back to the song "Let's Get Together" by Jesse Colin Young. It was written by Dino Valenti, though, from Quicksilver Messenger Service, and it was a song he did, and it's still to this day performed and played by a lot of people, and it just has such a beautiful message. Let's get together, and that was kind of one of the inspirations for when I got this idea about doing that reggae tune, Love One Another, was about just sharing that feeling, That's all I can say. And I being into Buddhism, I love to chant a lot for world peace because it's all about trying to bring this world together.
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Myoho Renge Kyo. Yes, a lot of gongyo. A lot of gongyo, man.
Yeah, gongyo. Tom?
You mentioned it briefly a moment ago, Joel. What are your thoughts on AI, particularly in the music kind of realm? But what obviously you've used it in the kind of confines of what you've been doing. But what are your overall thoughts? And do you see it being a good fit with the music industry, or should there be kind of checks and balances, perhaps more on it? Or what are your thoughts?
I have very strong feelings about what they're doing with taking everybody's music and throwing it into the boiling pot and having AI gather all this musical information on all these wonderful writers who are kind of attached to the cosmos and writing through a spiritual way, and then having it be thrown into this this mixer and having AI spew out music. I'm dead set against it. I do not believe in it. I believe that music is created by the human consciousness and that the human spirit attaches to a greater spirit and is inspired by those things. And that's how we write music. I don't like the idea of AI creating music. I just recently, in the last year, heard about 3 albums that came out by this artist in, I believe it was Greenland, kind of an out-of-the-way artist who's very successful. And Spotify had 3 albums up that he did not even write, had his likeness on it. The music sounded kind of like him, and they were selling this music. Don't quote me on this, but the reality is that it's wrong. And I used AI in a image of, we kind of thought about what we wanted the video to convey in the single that I just put out, and converted my image into kind of an AI image. But that's totally different than what people are doing with AI and music. So I'm not very happy about it. I'm against it. What's your feeling, you guys? Skyler, what do you think about it? I'm curious.
Well, you can't, often imitate and never duplicate.
Yeah.
So, you still have to tell AI what you want.
Right.
But initially it's from your, like you said, your consciousness. It comes from you, right?
Yeah.
When you write lyrics, you can basically direct everything you want, but you still got to go out and get the images for it, right? So when I do my videos, I use my lyrical content as the script, and you know,
Yeah.
I, I want it to be literal.
And
I
then
don't
you
want
have AI create an image, is what you're
to.
saying? And then you've
Huh?
had AI create an image based on your lyrical content, right?
Yeah, but I don't just I give them what I saw in my head, right? I
Yeah.
don't just let them go for it because you just relinquishing the your what you created in the first place. Like,
Yes.
okay, that's good enough. You guys take it from here. No, why be lazy? Go all the way through with it. You know what I mean?
Totally agree. I really do.
And that's what AI does. They just like you give it to some people and then they go find images like what you're doing. But I go find the images I want and I tell them use this kind of stuff, right?
Good. Very good. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's really you're guiding what they're doing. All they're doing is tapping into a wealth of information that they have in their hands that we may not be able to access as quickly as what AI can do. Correct?
Mm.
Right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing a video right now called Nobody Knows Their Name. And I got one scene where his car flips over and it's that one guy that goes there and grabs that person and pulls them out of the car before the car blow up. And then they walk off. You never knew their name. And people are doing that for each other all over the world every day, doing something beautiful
Yeah.
and helping people out. Oh, the young guy gets out of his car to help an old lady across the street because she's terrified. Well, he walks off and you never knew his name.
Mm.
So there's so many scenarios I'm using, right?
Yeah.
Of people doing things, beautiful things for each other, but they don't get no credit. And they don't ask for nothing.
I
You know
love
what I
that.
mean?
Yeah, that's great, man. I love that idea. And the thought is really impressive because it's about the inspiration of them helping other people, right? And it's not about my name, it's about the spirit and about what they're doing for other people because they need help. That's good, man.
Exactly. Exactly. I have the woman, she's having lunch and she's waiting for a bus and she can see it coming down the street, right? And the bus gets closer, she just jumps up and leave her purse there. Well, somebody at the other table, they go grab her purse and run to the car. I mean, run to the bus. And just before the doors closed, they hand her a purse. And then you never knew their name,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, very
So
good.
many beautiful scenarios. Tom?
Mm. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, personally, for me, AI wise, I was going to say, kind of to me, it kind of similar to how it felt with regards to the difference between if you're listening to a genuine instrument, and by that I mean a trumpet, a guitar, a real human controlled instrument against a synthesizer. That's my take on it. Whereby, yeah, you can make music by a synthesizer, and I mean, there's great pieces of music been made, but it's not quite the same if you have a proper band with these kind of music instruments being played as against somebody just hits it. Oh, we need drums there. We're just going to hit this button and there's some drums. Do you know what I mean? And to me, that's what AI is doing. Yes, it can make music. I mean, it can copy, as you say, but it doesn't have or at least it shouldn't have the ability for you to go, oh, that's almost like tinny versus pure. See what I mean? I think,
There's something to be said about the human feel
mm,
and using real instruments. I have to say, I heard a song recently that someone had done, and it had a violin on it, kind of played by an Indian music style. And I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of Indian musicians over the years.
yeah.
Zakir Hussain, George Brooks, and this violin. I said, "Who's playing the violin?" It was the most realistic Indian violin music that I'd heard, and it was a sample,
Oh,
but
right.
it was a
Right.
real sample of a player playing violin
Actually playing, yeah.
converted onto a keyboard.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of the halfway in between.
Mm.
How do we relate to that? I was kind of shocked by how good it sounded. But it's the whole thing about samples, right? But they had to be played originally by a human in order to copy that.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cool.
I tell these kids all the time, you might have, there was an old saxophone player who used to live next to my mom and I, and his bathroom was kind of adjacent, you know what I mean? But he would go in there and practice all day in his bathroom, getting ready to go play, just riffing, you're getting ready to go play that night,
Yeah.
So I was recording this 15-year-old kid, and I said, I think I want to put saxophone in there. She go, how much that gonna cost? I was like, we give him $300-400, She go, Skyler, come over to my keyboard. I got a sax over here. Why do we need him? Right?
Yeah.
I hope you schooled her.
Yeah.
I did, because I wanted to tell her, like, you can sample the sax, but it sounds way too clean.
Yeah.
When you put a sax up close to the microphone, there's still some air in between the microphone and the bell of that's a sound too. And it's fingering. You can hear that, right? So we have to get back and we have to teach the kids about the human sound, because it, like I said, it's often imitated but never duplicated when it sounds real. Plus, when I was a kid, I used to love to see all those musicians on the stage, right? You're going, man, that guy's great. That guy's great at what he do. That guy's great at what he's do. Instead of some DJ up there with some headphones, some lights bobbing and weaving his head, right? Yeah. we need this for young people to see human beings playing music. You agree?
I do. There's so many things about what's happened with the music world between streaming and people and kids expecting to be able to get music for free, and the loss of so many people's revenues who play music. And now the reality is that it's live performance is what musicians have to rely on to survive. I mean, composing, we compose, we do music for a variety of things, but it's about live music. And as long as live music exists, people will understand what music is about. It's the language of love. It's what we're spreading around the world to try and bring people together. There's a language there that we don't want to lose. We don't want it to be synthesized. We want it to be real.
That's right. The internet's only been here since 1996. And I have to tell these kids all the time, there was music before the internet. Because they don't know, right?
Oh man, that's deep. That is very deep, my friend. It's amazing. 1996. Some of these kids you're talking to weren't even born then. Hard to believe, huh?
Right. You're not going to beat the human sound. So if we can, you're right. And I've always said that, if we can get kids in a room with some amazing, talented human beings, they won't be listening to the computers. It's boring anyway, right? You're just watching a guy with a computer. But to go and see that same instrument live, and I tell this guy, I say, you know what? I tell you how the truth works. Let's go play some blues, right? And step on the guy's foot before he go on stage. The blues sounds different.
Getting a different sound, yeah.
It's painful. It's painful, man.
Yeah. You can't get that from a bunch of buttons, you know what I mean?
No.
That's very true.
No, it's like blues came from the inspiration of the stories of life. I'm working on an album with Roy Rogers right now, who used to produce John Lee Hooker, and he's a Delta blues slide player. And we just finished the recording of it. I'm going to start mixing it this coming week. And every one of his songs, man, is about a life experience that is just grabs you. You know what I mean? Blues are so incredible. I don't know about stepping on his foot, but definitely the story is there, and conveying those stories is amazing. I've been very lucky to work with some amazing blues players, man.
Yeah.
Charlie, It's another one, you know. Roy.
And record them and go up and put the microphone close to whatever they playing and getting that kind of thing. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a crazy question that I ask everybody, but everybody got a different, opinion about it.
Yeah.
How much do you love music?
Pardon?
How much do you love music?
Oh my God, music is my life. I always say that music is my life. I was in pre-med and majoring in pre-med and music, and I was at the Cleveland Institute of Music, and I was at Adelbert College, Case Western Reserve, and I walked away from my medical career to do music because music was my life.
Yeah.
And I love it, man. You're right. It's what keeps me going. It's like, man, when you're playing, I play with an artist by the name of Liz Kennedy. We've done 5 albums. We got a new album coming out. And I play guitar and I'm a musical director. And every time I play with the band, and there's some great players, you probably know some of them. You know Billy Johnson, the drummer?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, well, so Billy's a drummer, and there are a variety of other people. Omega, you know Omega from Black Alicious, and
singer, yeah,
with Liz, she's one of the singers, and we sing and play music together. And every time I get done with rehearsal or playing a gig, I go, man, there's nothing better. There's nothing better than music. And even though I do a lot of things in music, playing is probably the one closest to my heart. You know, it's inspirational.
Yeah, I mean, performing, man, performing, right?
That's what
I tell these kids all the time about, back in the old days, we had the juke joints, right? And it wasn't no nightclub. They go to a barn and dress the barn up and stuff like that, and bring in the band, man. You know what I mean? It's fun. Music is fun. It's emotion. It's fun, and we have to have it. You have to have music. We are music. When we walking down the street, we're keeping a beat.
We are music. That is absolutely. It is a part of our life, and it's what keeps us going. It's what keeps me young. Even though I'm getting older, it's what keeps me young, That's what.
Yes, man. So, I have to have it, I mean,
Yeah.
even when you're talking, there are notes.
Mm.
There are notes when you're talking. Singing was the first instrument. You know what I mean? You're tapping on your fingers. We are music. Everything we do has some kind of music to it,
So there's a lot of love there.
Very, very true. Just want to see what sort of social media presence you have, whether you've got any kind of YouTube channel or anything you want to just give us the details of. And what I'll do is put the links to those in the description of the video for you, so you can spread the love.
J Jaffe Music is my channel on YouTube.
Okay.
And my new single is up there with a variety of some live performances as well from the past album. And I have a Facebook page that I don't use as much as I should,
Okay.
but I use my personal page, Joel Jaffe, and I have a lot of my music up there, as well as J Jaffe Music on Facebook. Most of my music has been visible on YouTube at the videos and on Facebook as well. I usually talk about acts that I'm working with or paintings that I've done, because I like to paint. That's kind of a therapeutic thing for me as well as me. And please check out Love One Another. You've got the video. You can put that link up, which
link it in,
would be great.
Do that. Brilliant, Joel. Thank you.
And Tom, thank you, man. Thank you, Skyler. I love hanging with you guys. Maybe we can do it down the road again. And and if you ever have any questions or want to reach out, I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the privilege of your time today, brother. And good morning to you. And we'll be back in touch. Namaste. Namaste.
Take care, Joel.
Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. our humanity.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.